So if you're not getting the iron your body needs, if you feel weak, run down, and are easily upset, start taking today.
It's Friday, my dudes.
It is Friday, my dudes. TGIF, everybody. Welcome to Have No Sphere, right here on the Iron Realm Media YouTube channel. My name is Josh Corey. What the hell else is there left to say? It is Friday, my dudes. Let's jump right in and say hello to the fellas. We got a bit of a light load tonight. We'll jump right in and say hello to one Mr. John Savage.
Savage!
John, how the hell you doing?
I'm doing well, mate. Doing well. I've had a last couple of times it's been shocking weeks, hasn't it? And it's been less shocking this week. And I think that's probably due to me finally getting hold of a solicitor that agrees with me. Or just getting hold of a solicitor is hard enough. You can't give your money away these days. But actually been plumbing today.
Oh, look at you go.
Not just plumbing, but plumbing 28mm copper for the first time, because I'm forced to, and also not just that either. I've been actually plumbing with proper end fill solder, not these.
Now, how much is 28mm in real measurement?
That's about an inch, I think.
Okay.
But this is the stuff. Normally I use these connectors that have solder built into them, and all you got to do is heat them up, and then the solder melts, and your job done. But yeah, these ones I couldn't get. It's hard to get 28mm sockets and stuff over here, so I had to get end feed, which is very professional. But I must say I was quite happy with the results. So I'm aching, I'm knackered, and I'm looking forward to the show.
Still, that's pretty exciting to find a solicitor that actually agrees with you.
Yeah. they'll agree for anything amount of money. They'll agree with you.
I guess that's true. Run a credit check and they'll agree with you as long as it comes back clean.
That's it.
And we have one Mr. Zachary Zabala, or Good Times for All there on YouTube, if you prefer. Zachary, how are you, sir?
I am doing wonderful. It was a good day. Playing with copper and magnets and neat stuff. Messing with the ferrocell, of course. Learned some cool stuff about how a gyroscope and magnets, even though no part of the gyroscope is magnetic, it interacts once the gyroscope is spun out.
I saw that with Stefan. Man, we're going to have to play that video, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to make a video on it too. I don't know if you put that out for the public.
Don't know, sure. But we can.
Yeah. But yeah, it's so cool. I mean, they're really putting it to the test in FE Core. You know, they don't just spin the thing up and watch it. They're actually doing some real world tests with it while they can. Like Mike was saying this morning when we had him on, it only lasts so long being so precise. The more you use it, the more the bearings start to wear out, the more things lose their somewhat perfection. Yeah, their precision. Yes, thank you.
So you had Mike Kavanagh on this morning?
We did. We had a full house this morning. Well, it started off, I think, with, Adam popped in, but then we got a call, and Candy, Ispy Nasalis, or I Spy Nasalize, depending on your emphasis of the syllables, popped on, and with her, she brought Noxie from Paul and the Plains show.
Right.
So we got to talk to Noxie for a little bit and talk to Candy for a little bit. Then Adam came back and he had Mike Kavanaugh on. He had Jaron on, and he was on for a little bit, and he just kind of popped off. It was quite a morning. It was pretty cool.
Well, maybe we should just replay that this tonight. It sounds awesome. I want to go watch that now.
Yeah, well, you can find that on tfrlive.com, John. I'm sure that's not bookmarked anywhere on your computer.
It is, but I just don't do bookmarks for some reason. I could bookmark all sorts of stuff, but when I come to find it again, it nah, yeah,
Too many bookmarks. Mm-hmm.
yeah, exactly. You just open, like useful or something, some folder you've made, and there's like 350 bookmarks in there. Yeah, it doesn't really work that well. But well, Mike Kavanaugh's been a busy bee, and he's because he's out in Amsterdam at the moment. I've been seeing videos of him driving backwards and forwards to the airport. Apparently, he's done about 1,000 kilometres or something, and got nicked by the coppers. They stole his car and demanded money off him, like good Sheriff of Nottingham's do.
And they tried to double it even.
Yeah,
He was like, "Wait a minute,
bastards.
I want to see the fine that I'm paying. I want to see it. I want to see the price." And when he looked it up, they tried to charge him like $250 or something like that, and it was $130.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice little earner if you can get away with it, can't you?
And I bet most people never ask to look.
Oh yeah, yeah, and those that do will spend a night under their supervision and possibly not ever get out at all if it's anything like the UK.
Should I even ask what the arrestable offense was?
He had a fine. Oh no, he was driving along looking at his sat nav and his mobile and going live and hanging out the window, and they thought he was drunk, so he couldn't work out whether to go left or right. And we've all been there. It's Amsterdam after all. It's mandatory, really. I don't know how anyone drives in Amsterdam. It's hard enough to walk. You got fleets of bloody cyclists mowing down beside you. Bells going off every 5 minutes. You're jumping out your skin. You're stoned out your head, walking down these alleyways that are like 6 foot wide. Whoa, it's mental.
Still, I wish I was there.
Oh yeah,
Looks like they're having a blast.
Oh yeah.
it does. Yeah, hopefully we'll be going live over there if Adam is not comatose at the moment. Or everyone.
Yeah, I don't know that he's not. I'm surprised we've not heard anything from him as of yet. He knows what time
I'm
it is.
not.
He may not know what time it is.
Yeah. He's an
That's a good
hour
point.
ahead. So it'll be midnight there at the moment. So my word, that's gonna be casualty season.
Mhm.
Interesting. This will be a fun evening.
Yeah, we're not known for our sobriety, us flat earthers, but some of us.
At least not too many of us. Maybe a handful.
So
Yeah, shit. That's it. That's the
That's
show.
it.
Without Adam, we're kind of SOL here. Didn't plan for anything.
well, you've got to introduce the other Zachary as well, haven't you?
Oh, go team! Yeah, go sports ball.
Oh no, we can see you can see your mouth move now. You ruined it.
Worst ventriloquist ever.
Go team! Yeah, go sports ball.
That's better. Much more believable.
Well, I'm going to have to start talking about plumbing then, if that's all we've got. I put a video out, not a video, I tweeted a video the other day about I get a lot of building videos and that sort of thing, and there's the best, most accurate level you can possibly buy is and a company actually sells it, is a 30-meter tube with 2 siphons in the top,
Water in.
and it's $8. And it's yeah, he's like, you could stretch this out over 30 miles if you want, and it'd still be in line. It's like, how does that work, man? Yes, little does he know, he's become a flat Earth video. He's in my playlist now. Test it. So what's been happening in your world, Josh? Sorry, Zach, but
No,
we haven't
go ahead.
actually heard from Josh.
Yeah.
We all introduced ourselves. Your turn on the spotlight.
Oh, it's just the same old, you know. Another day, another 87 cents.
You sound like Rob now.
Mm-mm. Well, it's just working. You know, I have Tuesdays and Friday mornings, so I start my day at 3 a.m. and I end it just as early as I can. I think last night I went to bed at like 8:30 at night. How gross is that? 8:30.
I don't start watching a film until 12, till midnight. It's great because I don't remember it the next day, so I could always go and watch it again another night and not remember it again. It's awesome.
Seems like time well spent there, John.
Yeah. I forced myself to watch film. Like this week, last night I watched. So it was so good I can't remember the fucking name of it. Cuckoo's Nest had it in the title. What was it?
One Flew Over.
Yes, absolute crap. What a load of rubbish.
It's a little dated, but it was pretty good back in its day.
Don't know why. And I watched Forrest Gump. I thought that was alright actually. Yeah, that was the first time I'd ever watched that. Watched that this week, and yeah, I thought that was quite amusing. But what did I say on Wednesday? I told you this lot, didn't I? I've forgotten already. I think it was a preempting of autism.
That's right.
Or
The normalization,
that's right.
the glorification.
Because it came out in the 90s, didn't it? But yeah, seen any good films lately?
Well, I asked you about Forrest Gump because it's been a while since I'd seen it. So I asked you if it was as I remember, and if they flashed back to Forrest's mom telling Forrest that life is like a box of chocolates. And then if they went ahead and went back to present time and showed Forrest talking about how Mama always said, you know, the past tense said that life was, you know, past tense was like a box of chocolates. I was just wanted to make sure that it was as I remember and that they said it both ways in the movie. And that's right. Correct, John? They do say it both ways in Forrest Gump. Yes?
I'll tell you what I think I told you on Wednesday night is I don't remember. The day after I saw it, I didn't remember either. Well, when you start watching films at 12 o'clock at night, I don't remember. I'd have to go back and watch it again. I do remember a flash of his mother opening a box of chocolates and then him saying something about, I don't know how he said it or what he said, but yeah, it's definitely something about a box of chocolates in there.
It's one of those weird things. I tend to have that memory. As I recall, it was when he was sitting at that bus stop.
Mm-hmm.
And then it flashed back to when she told him that she had cancer. And that's how she preempted the cancer talk, was that, you know, life is like a box of chocolates. You just never know what you're going to get.
I didn't get the link with that. I'm definitely going to have to watch it again.
It's been a while since I've seen it again, but
because I think it's one of those films that's got numerous levels on it, and the more you watch it, the more things you pick up on that you didn't pick up on the time before, and that sort of thing. There's a couple of films like that, but yeah, definitely, yeah, a rewatchable film.
So Zach, is that what I'm seeing in chat? We're going to be able to watch that gyroscope video?
I mean, we could show it. I'm watching it right now.
I don't want to step on anybody's toes and show stuff that's not meant for public viewing yet.
Yeah, I mean, he said, I asked Stefan if he'd minded if I made a video and showing it and just say, hey, this, you know, Stefan from FE Core, the engineer that made that beautiful,
amazing gyroscope.
Yeah. That when he'll put little magnets up next to it, and they just start dancing around and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And no part of the gyroscope is magnetic.
No, I was going to say the rotor is brass, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And the rest is aluminium, I think, or
Mm-hmm.
aluminum.
Yeah, so there is some kind of interaction going on with the gyroscope once it's spun up. Oh, they said I can go ahead and play it. You guys want to see it?
Yeah.
Hills, yeah.
All right.
Is there any sort of diamagnetic connection between magnets and bronze or brass or whatever it is? Like there is with copper. I'm just wondering if that's what's possibly going on, but it's definitely some sort of force.
You guys see this?
Mm-hmm. So that's the rotor of the gyroscope in the background, and it's
Look at that.
spinning. Look at that thing flying around.
And it actually slows the gyroscope wheel down.
Ah, right. So there is resistance there.
Mm-hmm.
What the actual F is going on there?
There were
I
other
had
videos
no
as well, weren't
idea.
there, Zach? There were a couple of others where he had a cube.
Magnet?
Yeah,
And
cube
it starts
magnet. That
spinning
was
like a top.
Spinning on it like a gyro.
Yeah. So there's something going on with the magnetic field and these non-magnetic metals. When they're spun at certain velocities, they start interacting with the magnetic field for some reason.
You get the impression there's a lot more to gyroscopes that we don't understand yet, and
Absolutely.
there's a reason why gyros are sold as toys and just sort of dismissed as a party trick and this sort of thing, but in reality they're used every single day to keep a lot of people alive. And I think there's a lot more to gyroscopes and how they actually function.
Yeah, there's something going on in there, for sure.
I don't think it's a coincidence that a lot of designs I've seen for sort of so-called UFOs consist of spinning mercury at high speeds, liquid mercury, and magnets. That's something.
You've seen this, right? When you have copper tube and a magnet and you drop it through,
That looks like my copper tube I've been playing with all day today.
it takes it a second to get through the tube. You can feel the resistance of it.
Yeah, I showed my wife that. She was just like, what the? Which is why I had to recreate it, because I saw it on a YouTube video and I didn't believe it. I was just like, I've never seen that before in my life. So I had to go and get a new neodymium magnet and some extra copper tubing.
Well, Zach, you were showing us this on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to thinking, well, that's interesting that it slows it down. I wonder if there was a way to reverse it that you would speed it up. And then I got to thinking, well, what would happen if you then passed a piece of copper through like a ring magnet? Would it have the same effect?
Yeah, it doesn't. Here, I'll show you.
And then you got to tearing up into Pioneer car speakers and making a big mess, trying to bring some ring magnets together.
These big boys right here.
I'm surprised you haven't shattered them. And your fingers.
And the copper
Yeah,
passes right through?
Yeah, it just
falls through, huh?
no resistance whatsoever. Maybe if the magnet was thicker.
Or more of them,
Yeah.
a copper to magnet ratio.
Doesn't matter which way you throw it down the tube.
No, it didn't with the magnet in the tube. Either way worked. There's glue stuck on those sides, on both sides. Man, Kenwood doesn't mess around sticking their magnets together.
All of those things are bastard hard to get into and get the decent stuff out of. But no, there's nothing there, is there?
No,
I mean, the reason it
feeling
slows
it.
down is because it's diamagnetic, isn't it? Copper repels magnet. It doesn't attract magnet or anything. It repels. Does that sound right, Zach? You'd know better than I would.
They say it has something to do with eddy currents and this and that. I've been looking into it.
Really?
Bob understands it, and he's going to cover it here pretty soon on one of these Globebusters coming up.
Cool. I look forward to that. Bob was going to be on the show as well, wasn't he, at some point? If we ever get through to Adam.
If we ever get through to Adam.
Did you know what time the conference starts?
I'm going to pull up Skype and I'll just call his ass.
They're starting at 9 o'clock in the morning in Amsterdam on a Saturday morning. I mean, it's no wonder I'm not there.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, mind you.
Yeah.
Mind your tackle down there.
I got something really cool to show you guys after I don't know. I've been looking for something like this and I can't find it. It has to do with obviously magnet and copper. But a way to make a push button without a spring in it. You know how most push buttons go bad because the spring either breaks or wears out?
Yeah.
With this, there would be no, I don't even want to show it. I don't want to describe it, how I did it.
Oh, it'd be like a mercury switch or something as well, isn't it? Mercury switches.
Yeah, it's just all magnet, and it's so, I'm not going to even explain any of it. I don't even want to.
Well, wait
I'm
till
going to
you
talk to somebody next week about getting a patent made.
wait till you patent it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That cost you a pretty penny. I tried to patent something years ago. It's
Yeah, I
1,500
have
quid
some.
then.
Yeah, it's not cheap. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
But if you could replace copper springs, it could be big, or springs in general.
Well, imagine inside a lock, Zach.
Ooh.
Tumbler lock with no springs in it, just whatever you've come up with. Yeah, I tried to patent a mechanism that, as you put your foot on the brake, you had like a series of red LEDs or whatever on a light on the back of the car, and as you pushed on the brake harder, more LEDs would come out like a equalizer on a stereo, so that the people behind you knew how hard you were braking, because so many people in the UK, you just drive along on the motorways and stuff, and a lot of people just rest their foot on the brake, or they're hitting the brake, or you're behind someone that's touching their brake every 5 seconds, and you don't know whether they're slamming on their brakes or whether they're just annoyingly touching their brakes and being, you've followed the sort of people I'm talking about. But yeah, I had this great idea of having a graphic equalizer brake. No one gave a shit back then either.
So I rang Adam on Skype. That may have gotten his attention because it didn't look like he was active before, but it looks like he's active now. So it may have been
in quotation marks.
right on Skype. So we shall see if he
I
wants
reckon that's why he put out the 40-minute one beforehand.
That could be.
I reckon he's signed himself off for the night. Although, if it starts at 9 o'clock in the morning, then they're not going to be up all night, that's for sure.
That's what we get for starting late, though, huh? Probably would have made it if we'd have been on time.
Hell. Who's
Oh, in
bloody
Denver,
fault was
believe me, they started early in Denver and they closed the bar down every night. It was like 3 o'clock and people were going up to their rooms to be up at 7:30, come back down.
Yeah.
There's a lot of energy. It's weird. It's different. It's not like you're just getting up to have a normal day.
No,
You get a
it's,
few hours of sleep and you're just like, all right, I'm ready. Let's go.
yeah, it's like going to a ball game or something and with all your mates and getting 4 hours sleep and waking up pissed and going straight to the pub, and yeah, you just seem to take it on when you're at those sort of venues. The adrenaline kicks in, I think. Not around here though.
Are you kidding? I'm hyped.
I can tell.
So was Walt not going to be able to make it the whole night tonight?
I knew he was getting ready to go. He's not actually leaving until tomorrow. So, I don't know. I thought that he might be in. You just never know. You just never can tell. So what the hell else has been going on in Flat Earth this week? I haven't seen much of anything. It's a lot harder for me to keep up.
I did see an awesome video that Jose Meza put up, Baba Yaga on 24/7 Discord. They're talking about thimerosal in mercury, the preservative that they pull out of mercury for vaccinations.
Mm-hmm.
Guess how many times they've been tested since 1929?
6.
Tested in what way?
To see if the mercury had any effect on humans.
Oh, never, probably.
Well, it's in the middle of what you two said. No, it's one time.
Once. Nice.
And the test was a joke. I don't want to play the video, so I'll say it. It was tested on 27 people with meningitis, and all of them died of meningitis. They said that thimerosal, the mercury, had no effect whatsoever, and it was safe. It's the one test that's ever been done.
Jesus.
Wow. Well, there can't be any sort of nefarious agenda going on there, can there? But hey, get your vaccines, because they don't contain mercury anymore, do they? Oh, maybe they do when you read the actual insert that the doctor doesn't give you. Yeah, it's criminal, absolutely criminal.
And since the 90s, since they started really hyping up the number of vaccinations that children get at young ages, geez, the autism has gone crazy. Just crazy.
It's gone up in the thousands of percent, isn't it? Was it back in the 70s? It was 1 in 10,000 children had autism. Now it's 1 in 30 something.
I don't know if we're live right now.
Stream offline.
Josh said his computer rebooted.
Oops.
There he is.
There he is.
Computer rebooted on you, huh?
Yeah, that was weird. I love the fact that it boots back up so quick. I mean, shit, we're already back live, going strong, but I don't know what the fuck happened to make it reboot.
Are we back live?
Yeah.
Well, that lost us 4 watchers.
Damn, half of them?
Not far off.
No, we should be back live. I'm showing green here.
Yeah, no, it looks like it is.
Weird. I thought we had that fixed.
I guess they didn't like our conversation we were having about mercury in vaccinations.
Guess not. Can't let people know there's only been one test on thimerosal.
And that since the 90s, since I bet this part got cut off, since the 90s when they really started upping the amount of vaccinations given to children, it went from like, I think I got 3 in the early 80s. And then 90s, it went up, I don't know, by at least 7-fold. They started giving like 20 vaccinations. And now it's crazy the amount of shots that these kids are given. And all of them have this mercury in it. I remember a nurse that was supposed to give my little brother a vaccination. His whole class, they were all supposed to go in to see this one nurse, and she was going to give them all back. That's how they do it out here in the country. And she gave them all like placebo vaccinations that had none of the stuff in it. And she had been doing this for years. She went to prison for this.
Unbelievable.
Really? You went to prison for
Yeah.
not giving the kids vaccines, huh?
Yeah, when she was, she was supposed to be giving them vaccines, and she was not. She was just giving them saline.
Well, there you go. There's the
Good on her.
source of no herd immunity. It's all her fault. Tell me,
We'd have been at 98% if it weren't for her.
did you guys ever get a vaccine called? Well, we were told it was called BCG.
Doesn't sound familiar.
Bravo.
Never heard of it.
C. What's
Charlie.
Bravo,
Charlie.
Charlie. BCG.
Golf.
Gecko. Oh, golf. Cool. Like it. Yeah, we had it. I had it when I was 13. And it was a syringe with 5 needles in it. All coming out in a circle. And they'd shove it in your arm. And then you'd get a big scab over the needle holes over the next couple of years. If you see any sort of UK people around my age, you'll see on their left arm or right, left arm would be like a circular scar. And of course, as kids and 13-year-olds, you'd go around and punch everyone in the arm and go shouting BCG and smack them in the arm. But I tried to go back and look this thing up and literally couldn't find anything on it. And I know everyone's had it. Everyone in my generation has had it. And, most people have got this little round scar on their arms. But you guys never heard of it, BCG? I don't even know what it stands for. But you look it up now and you just can't. I couldn't find anything about it. So if anyone knows anything about it, then drop us a line.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Bizarre.
You were experimented on, John.
Well, I think most people were.
Yeah, we all were. You're not super special.
No, but I mean, most people in the UK have got this round scar on their arm.
It's a tuberculosis vaccine.
Is it? Is that what it?
Search BCG vaccine.
Fuck off.
Smart ass.
Bet it doesn't give the ingredients. I don't think they have it these days. Anymore, anyway.
What was it for, John? Do you remember?
No, all I know is the name.
Tuberculosis.
BCG is all I knew it about. Because that's what you shouted when you punched your mate in the arm.
It's Bacillus or Bacillus Calmette-Guerin is the BCG.
There you go. You see, I'm going to have to come to you for research. Clearly my skills have gone to rat shit.
If I can find a way to populate this
I'll have to write that down
Wikipedia
tomorrow.
page.
Just bung a link in Twitter, can you? do my work for me. Find out what
I
I was
haven't
poisoned
seen-
with.
I hope everybody in Amsterdam's all right. I haven't seen any Skype posts or anything lately.
They're fucked by now. It's 12:30. They'll be
Passed
down a
out
coffee
already?
shop. No, they'll be down a coffee shop or a strip club or something. They'll be watching stuff. You
Yeah,
don't
they were
go-
walking into a coffee shop this morning and it said no phones.
Excellent. My sort of place.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, John. It's in Twitter.
Excellent. Cheers, mate. I did do quite an extensive study on it and couldn't come up with anything. So I'm interested to see what Wikipedia has to say about it.
You'd be surprised the number of returns that pop up just from a
Really?
yeah.
Maybe I was spelling it wrong.
That could be.
Anyway.
And I'm not seeing how many returns it actually came up with, but DuckDuckGo gave me a whole big page. Oh, look. And an option for more.
All right.
Gee, scrolling.
Anyone watching us? Are we live?
Hell yeah, we're live. We got people in chat and everything.
I can't get to it.
It's okay, John.
Astro King, Bible literalist. Liz the Iron Maiden is in
I
chat.
love that name.
All I'm seeing is the
That H.
Yep.
Glowbusters.
Oh, see,
And I see Walt.
I don't see. It's not showing me Bob or Walt. I see
Which way did they go?
Rob just dropped in. Rasa Snowfire. And Privet Ikben Y Ikben is also here, wondering why we have Amsterdam in the title.
Yeah, we're
Because
wondering
he
too.
lives there.
Great observation. Valid point.
Works at a coffee shop.
What? Really?
Yep. He said that he will answer any questions.
Best job in the world. Which coffee shop? Do you know the Dolphin?
Do you know the Dolphin?
Yeah,
Is that a coffee shop?
might be. Could just be one of those spy conversations where he has to reply with the correct answer.
Shoot the moon.
You mean the black dolphin?
I am a wanderer, or I am a, wanderer traveling east.
But only when the wind is blowing west. Enough of this lunacy. What are we doing?
I'm gonna buzz at him again. Should I call his cell?
Someone's just asked how stoned we are.
Not
No
terribly.
more than usual.
I don't know. Are you, John?
No.
Have you been partaking any extra?
I don't smoke. What are you on about? I'm an AI.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I just
Yeah,
make
yeah,
smoking
yeah.
sounds, you see.
If you were human, what would you be smoking?
Yeah, well, I'd be in the Amsterdam if I was human. I'd be smoking a bit of white widow.
Okay, we got Roxanne in the chat.
Bit blue
So-
cheese.
People are okay in
Oh.
Amsterdam.
I'm calling Adam.
Yo, yo.
Yo, yo.
What the hell, Adam? I thought you were coming on.
It's Friday, remember?
Mate, honestly, like the heavens have opened here. It's just shocking. And we were just saying, when I was trying to log into Zoom, I can't find. So send me a Zoom link, and I'll jump in with you, and then I'll get the cam set up and everything instead of looking at the ceiling. So give us 2 secs, yeah. But send me the link in Skype, and then I'll jump in via Zoom.
All right, it's gonna be right here in this. Dropped it.
Cool.
There you go.
Cool. Right, give me 2 secs. I'll drop, and I'll see you in a sec.
All right, sounds good.
Bye bye.
Bye. See, fellas, initiative, damn it. Who knows how long he'd have been sitting there in the camper van just doing nothing. Had I not taken it upon myself to call him. I almost called his cell phone, too. That would have been even funnier. Hello? Hello? Is this thing on?
6, 7. Hello. I was draining the main vein, man. I thought Adam was going to blether on for bloody ages, and for once in his life he was succinct, sounds sober, sounds like he's about to go into a business meeting. What's going on?
Yeah, he did. Well, I think he said it really started raining.
Yeah.
I know it's been raining all day.
Normally he'd tell us that in 10 minutes, you know? With some adequate pausing in between and everything else. There's none of that. I think he's on the wagon.
It's like I picked the wrong day to quit smoking weed.
I went to the dam and I've given up smoking. That's how I know the Dolphin, because they've got the best vape machines out there. Glass vape machines. And it's a really cool place too.
Assuming it's still there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he said the Dolphin was still there. It's in the center of the city, he said.
It is. It's quite a way inland. Whereas most
Now.
of the who's that? I'll shut
Now
up.
we can justify having Amsterdam in the title. Otherwise, we're just a bunch of damn fools doing nothing.
I'd hate to have you as damn fools, boys. Can you hear me?
Hello, Adam.
Loving that dollar.
Evening,
sign.
guys.
How are you not a vegetable?
Oh, mate, honestly, I had a dribble this afternoon. I had a little kit. Oh, I forgot I've got a mic and a spliff right there. Wait.
Where are you at the moment?
We're in the camper van, and like I said, it's all turned to shit, mate. We were already loads of people, as you saw from the live stream.
Yeah, that was cool,
Rocks.
by the way.
Yeah, it was all down to Rocks, weren't it? She smashed it.
It was brilliant.
I did all I could with the tools that I had.
She's an angel. She's letting me dry my feet out here in the camper van.
Got heat on,
It's
haven't you?
heating on. Oh, honestly, the heavens have opened. It's just absolutely shocking.
It was so bad. You know, like,
Weren't it?
we were having
No.
to shout over the rain,
No.
and then we got told to be quiet. Because we were
Shove that mic under her nose if anyone speaks.
people shouting.
I will do. I mean, but yeah. So we had a lot of people lined up to talk to, but everyone's in their chalets and their cabins, ready on. You know I don't like an early morning, Josh. Yeah. Oh, what time's the last bus? Never mind the fucking first bus. Forget the first.
I think it's last
8:30.
What do you need a bus for? It's only across the river.
Mate, I've got jet lag, which means it's 7:30, which is even more ungodly. So, yeah. So early start tomorrow. So
I said they needed to start it at 9 o'clock at night and go through till 3 in the morning, rather than 9 o'clock in the morning. That's ridiculous.
shocking, mate.
Sacrilege for Amsterdam.
Honestly. I knew you'd be upset by this, John.
Oh.
I knew.
It should be easy traveling, at least, in the morning.
Well,
9 o'clock.
they're the buses. If I fancy a lay-in, Zach, right, I can just get a taxi, and I think it's about €10. So you know.
How far is it?
Let's
Is the
be honest,
campsite
I'm
from?
a tenner down.
How far's the campsite from the venue?
Owen walked it, and he said it was about 15 minutes, but by train it's an arse to 3 or 4 minutes, and taxi about 10. So I don't know.
Yeah, you
not
walk
long,
everywhere
though,
in
but-
Amsterdam.
Well, we're the other side of the. Is it the Amstel, the river? The Amstel, yeah. So
So you
but
got to get the
instead of
ferry.
over the canal. Well, yeah. Or did you walk over the Amstel? There you go. So yeah. So is that why you got here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the station directly on the boat to the other side.
Yeah.
Tell Arwen we said hi. We're glad he made it.
I'm going to hand you over in a minute, because so I'll tell you what's going on. Literally nobody's here. other than me and my roomie Armwood, right? I had Dave Murphy last night, but he kicked me out.
Kicked you out.
No, he didn't really kick me out. It was. I turned up because
You blew it, didn't
well,
you?
no, I'm a
Adam?
bit,
You
as
blew it,
always,
didn't
I'm
you?
a bit of a cabbage. So I told Dee Dee I was coming on these dates, and I turned. Oh, hello. Now we've got people knocking at the door. Got Lisa. So yeah. Anyway, but yeah. So I ended up turning a day early. So I ended up crashing in Dave's place last night. So
You turned
what
up
I'll
a
do-
day early by accident.
Sort of.
Is that what you
kind
told your wife?
A clerical
No,
error.
she booked the tickets. That's what I'm saying. So she was obviously keen to get rid of me. But yeah. So I ended up crashing in Dave's pad last night. But tonight we're in mine, and Arwen's my roomie for the evening. So we're just drying out in the camper van, to be honest, because honestly, it's just tipping it down.
So-
Arwen's had a pot noodle. Roxanne's boiled the kettle and made him a pot noodle, so he's had his tea, so he's refreshed. He's staring at my ugly ass at the moment, but I'll pass through. I'll tell you what I'll do, guys. I'll give me 2 seconds and I'll get set up, and I'll pass you over to Arwen.
Show us your mic.
Show us the mic. Bring in the dildo. On it, the amount of cocks in windows in Amsterdam. We're walking around today on shocking. Honestly, the size of one of them. See, it's even made my gyro flip out. Just at the thought of it. It was.
You could have got yourself a cock mic.
There you go.
Couldn't you? Oh, you did. Oh, there you go. Look at that.
There you go. Look at that. That was a bit 1970s. I thought that's like
Big golden
70s.
bell end on it.
Tonight, live from the Palladium. Oh, hundreds. I can't tell. Thousands.
It looks like Elton John's.
This looks like Elton John's. I'll give a bit of Liberace to that. Yeah.
$1 mic from Toys R Us, I think Geraldine said it was.
Somebody said that earlier. Yeah, it was. I told him it was about 6 or 7 quid off Wish, mate. I didn't spare any expense.
Including postage?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Rocked it. 3 days work in China, that.
Well, it works a treat. It is way, way better, I must say. But you got to be within about 3 inches of it, because it's a proper directional mic. Clearly,
Yep.
gold.
But that was the point. All you do is moan at me.
No, I'm not
do
moaning.
no bloody good. You're like a bad parent. You are.
Not
Now
moaning.
look at that, I'm pissed. I think we've
You
got
hold the mic. Just
Yeah, I hold the mic.
Oh wow! Adam's got a full
Oh, I've got a bit of brewer's
Have you
droop on my
gone-
gyro, to be honest.
Have you gone to the arena yet?
Okay, look, we're getting to you. Don't
Adam?
worry.
Wait.
Nora, right? Nora is in there, right? Hi, Nora.
That's
No,
a
no,
disgraceful
no.
split.
We're not. What?
Who
got
rolled
it.
that spliff?
I'm reading the chat.
Oh, this one, I don't know.
It's a bloody bladder pool.
let me give you 2 rocks, because I'm starting to dribble. So there's no point carrying on. And I've got the giggles.
Best answer for who rolled that joint. I don't know.
I don't know.
Some tramp under the bridge gave it to me. Felt sorry for you, Adam, and gave you a spliff, didn't he?
They're just flying around, mate. They come, they go. Are they? All right. Rox, do you want to have a word?
Yeah, all right.
I've got to hold it. I'll take more charge. I'll just hold
It's
it.
just like,
It's on double boss one, can't it?
Um,
You go. Right.
it is, but it's not. Yeah, sorry. Hi,
Hi,
Hey,
Rox.
Rox.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
There is a
Oh, better than we deserve.
Aww, yeah. Today's been a trip. There's a lot of people here I've never met before. There's a lot of people that have travelled here from a lot of countries across Europe. There's a lot of people here as well that have only just kind of started their pursuit of truth recently. People that have brought their friends that are
flower.
still kind of on the fence with things. And a gentleman I spoke to this evening, I can't believe I'm saying this, I spoke to him, but he doesn't speak English and I don't speak his language, but we managed to communicate. And there's a real general buzz here like
I'm definitely buzzed.
we're in Amsterdam, so that was
And
probably the most
Nora,
cliche
this is
thing I
Johnny.
could say, right?
Johnny ScubaDracula, Nora. That's who I am. You asked in the chat. It's Johnny ScubaDracula.
And you're all
Canada.
Team Green, are you?
Canada.
Team
Yes,
Green.
Canada.
Team Green. Well, when in Amsterdam,
Hell yeah.
is there a saying?
You're Team Green. I'm Team Green.
Yeah,
That's hardcore. That is.
that is. It's a good look.
So
It's a good
is
look.
Gary
Has to invite you.
is Gary
It's like
Team
one of
Green?
them.
yet?
Is Gary
One
Team
above
Green?
FE Core,
Hold on, we
Team
had this
Green.
conversation with Gary, and he was like, "What's that?"
Yes, because he does.
Doesn't know,
It's
he
like
doesn't
secret
know.
societies. It's levels above. He doesn't know about it yet.
Give him some of Martin Leakey's
I need to know
muffins.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Nibbles.
So we've got like a little camper van full here. We've got Scuba, we've got Lisa, myself, Jason, Adam, and Arwin. So it's nice and cozy. Nice and cozy. But there's a lot of distractions going on in the background. So if you see my eyes doing this, it's because I
Well, you did an awesome job earlier as our roving
Thank you.
reporter on IRM.
Thank you. Thank you. It
Jason's
was an
all
absolute
chill over
pleasure.
there, eh?
Absolute
Hey,
pleasure.
Jason?
Do you know what?
You know,
Just getting everyone's reactions from how they found the evening. It was wonderful, and like I said, there was people I was speaking to this evening that I've not spoken to before, so it was very, very good. If you haven't come to something like this before, I would strongly suggest you do. There's, like I said, even those ladies you were speaking to earlier on, Lisa, those ladies, there, like, this isn't something that they normally do as well. That lovely lady that was talking there, and it's such an inspiration to see people coming out of their comfort zones and really taking that next step to be around others. And there was that other lovely lady me and you were speaking to, Adam.
Yeah.
Wasn't she lovely?
We had a proper good chat after you went,
Yeah.
about all sorts of stuff. So yeah,
And for her, it was
connections
incredibly
is-
important for her to be here, for her as well. And this is something you can't get away from. It's something that can't be done online. You have to come out in person. And to now see the camper van the way it is,
Yeah,
Have they
kudos.
seen it? Have they
Kudos
mentioned-
to you guys.
Have they seen the pictures?
have you seen the pictures of it, guys?
Yeah, I have. I never thought I'd see it
Looks
because
great.
I knew how much trouble it would be to do it. But bloody hell, you all did a blinding job. I can't believe it actually got done. Fantastic.
As they say, the best things come to those who wait, and boy, did we all wait, right? All of us, me, myself included. I was looking at them the first time, the stickers for the first time, when Paul saw them. Me and Paul literally like a pair of kids going through them in the camper van, going, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" And then everyone was enthusiastically cutting them out with scissors, which was nerve-wracking because it was vinyl. And admittedly, some of us did,
Better jobs than others.
Yeah. We were in Amsterdam, like most of us just do smoke, and now we've got scissors.
Got this
Like
out.
you've got us high, and then asked us.
Nobody.
Yeah, and some of us hadn't slept in over 24 hours, sitting there with scissors, going, "You want me to cut vinyl? How much did you say this stuff cost?" The hand starts shaking every time you're trying to cut it. So, but yeah, it's really worked out well, and there's loads of stickers still to put on this side, but pretty much it's done. It's done for all intents and purposes. It's done. It's just maybe some tassels putting on now. But other than that, the job's a good one. It's definitely the talk of the campsite. You can't miss it.
Hard to, innit?
You can't miss it.
You shouldn't miss
can't
it.
miss
Don't
it.
miss it.
Don't
Come
miss
down.
it.
Talk to us.
Come on down. And yeah, mind blank, brain freeze. Oh yeah, have you shown them the artwork inside the camper
Oh,
van?
shall I try? This camera's
Yeah,
doing my
for the guests that have not been out and done activism
Like me.
and seen things up close, we've
tried this on,
taken
so-
the liberty of
There we go.
popping some artwork on the walls of the camper van. We've popped the leaflets up on the camper van walls. Can you guys see that?
I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go. That's canny, isn't it?
How many leaflets did you get?
So far we've handed out 5,000 leaflets,
Bloody hell.
and we've got 10,000 on board now.
Wow.
And those 10,000 leaflets are going to get distributed across 15,000 miles. I'm pissed that we don't have 50, but we're all right. 15,000 miles in total, 15,000 leaflets. So there is a leaflet for every mile.
You know, Mike said to.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was an exaggeration,
Right.
but where we're going to do the activism on Sunday,
Mhm.
100,000 odd people past us. So
Nice.
we're going to burn through them leaflets, man.
Good.
Well, and
Them
about,
leaflets.
about the activism on Sunday, let's get all of our fellow flat earthers to consciously hope the weather is good for us here in Amsterdam, because it's been raining like crazy.
If any mods are in the chat room, could you please put the link for the GoFundMe in there and for the PayPal for the Global Tour? I don't have my phone to hand.
That's a good
As the
idea.
wheels of the bus are going to start turning, and
Falling off.
there's a massive opportunity for anyone who hasn't done so already to take the opportunity and click the link and donate to the tour, because the tour won't be completed unless we carry on creating funds
Jason's
for the
paid for this
tour.
banner, so
I don't want Jason to say that we're coming up to the point of no return, and I don't want him to call us back at any point because we've run out of funds. So please do so if you haven't done already, and if you can do it at some point in the future, please do save the link and donate to the tour at any given opportunity that you have. It would be greatly appreciated, and you will be kept updated along the way with live streams and information across all social media platforms.
Yeah, those live streams in the UK were awesome. A lot of people are missing them.
Yeah, they're going to be back soon. They're going to be back as of Sunday, and then the camper is going out to do its next bit of activism as of Monday, and the schedule is back on track.
So were the leaflets a group effort, or is there someone that should be named to say thanks for them, or?
Yeah, there is someone that should be thanked for those leaflets. His name's Jason of the Disbury. He designed them, formulated them, and got them printed.
Fantastic. I think that's awesome.
Is there anyone else you should be thanking for those leaflets, Jason? Yeah.
I thought David Weiss had a hand in.
Did David Weiss have a hand in helping you do those leaflets? Sorry if I've got fucked that up. No, did anyone help you design those leaflets, Jace? Did you design them by yourself? Okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah, Jason, I've got to be honest with you guys, yeah? This man's a trooper, an absolute trooper, yeah? He's been going solid, and he's been unwell as well. You've been battling being sick behind the scenes as well. That's such a shame. The man's a trooper.
He is.
But he's still standing, barely, and he's sprawled out across the driver's seat and the passenger seat. Why? Because he's been so accommodating with us. Just sat here like this.
Damn English vehicles with the steering wheel on the right side.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
He's trying not to have a whitey.
All you guys have been.
No, you're not doing a whitey. No. Vouch for yourself. I don't want anyone in the chat room to think you're pulling a whitey. You're not drunk. You're just knackered. No, he's borderline sober as a judge. Please, yeah, he's on tea. Hold on, say that.
Yeah, I was just saying I am drinking tea.
Bless him.
In fact, you were just like soaking up the vibe there, weren't you? You're just kind of listening to the vibe, and are you comfy?
I'm comfy. I'm cozy. I've just got a.
Do you want a pillow to lean back on? Oh, do you want a pillow to lean back on? Are you alright?
Well, you give Jason utmost respect, and
they're saying they're giving you their utmost respect.
Thank you.
And he really is a trooper. I've been watching him along the way, and
trooper.
You don't do this unless you've got a lot of love in your head.
Again, everybody pray for good weather.
And you're mad. Nah, don't bother with the
we're
good weather.
It's been nothing but rain in Amsterdam.
We're a bit of both.
Days since I've been here.
But yeah, there's been an amazing amount of effort that's happened behind the scenes. There's been, people pushed right up against it with their jobs, literally leaving their place of work, not going home, making their way straight to the camper. There's people that have gone to destinations and ended up missing the connection with the camper with their schedules, and it's just the amount of fate, call it what you want, call it hurdles, call it whatever, but the amount of adversities people have faced to get here, you could not make up some of the testimonies people have come out with, going, you'll never believe how I've been held back from getting here, and we're going, trials. So yeah, it's a general positive buzz coming from everybody, and wonderful conversations. I'm hearing.
It's a labour of love, isn't it? It really is, and there's some sort of motivation inside all of us that truth just ignites. It's just something more important than everything else, really.
Mm-hmm.
I spent all day out there in this damn camper.
Yeah.
All day putting stickers on this thing.
And you did a fantastic job, and that's the wonderful thing. We've even had hands on deck helping. We were initially going to stay in Folkestone and do this by ourselves, and if it hadn't been for Paul telling us to get our asses over here and come to the campsite, he said there'll be more than enough people to help.
Yeah,
But other than that, it was just going to be me, you, and Jason, and that's it.
Give a good push today.
Big time. Yeah.
You think you can get something.
So who's driving it on beyond Amsterdam?
You have to wait for that. We can't just give you that away.
Oh,
Can't just
right.
give that away.
I didn't know there were
Yeah,
teasers.
you have to wait till Sunday evening for that kind of information.
That's because you don't know, don't you?
Trying to tease it out of me, Jason. They're trying to tease it out for me. No, it's under lock and key. Jason's got the names on a special envelope in a box somewhere. So yeah, you'll have to ask the delivery man. But yeah, there will be that will be announced on Sunday evening.
Make sure you thoroughly check the van for any little packets of greenery before you leave Amsterdam and head across any borders. Yeah.
Promise.
Go around with mirrors under the bottom. Get the dogs on it.
I can confirm that people will be smoking copious amounts of that while they're here, so everything will be fine there. Yeah. Everyone's puffing away happily.
Leave nothing behind.
Yeah. It feels really strange holding this mic. It's like,
suits you.
It
just stops John Savage moaning.
I'm the only fucker that will tell you your audio's shite.
I've told you.
It's a nice little mic though. Does it plug into the phone?
Yeah.
Where did you get it?
Can people hear in the chat?
Really?
The mic okay?
It actually works.
How does the microphone sound in the chat?
Toys R Us.
Really?
Can people hear how it sounds?
I've always wanted one of these for speakers. Oh no.
Shit.
Sorry, I do like it. I do think it's good because then kind of you can speak like that and it's good. It feels weird holding it. So, yeah.
The mic is picking up.
Is it? I don't know.
We should just pick you up instead of us rambling out. Rather than just like the phone in the rear.
All right. So if there's any questions, yeah, I can't really hear anyone anymore. Are you guys there?
No, we're here.
Oh, you are. Yeah. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer. Any questions that you may have.
Denier.
I think any of us are. In that sense.
I heard Bilu is coming up from Brazil to drive for you guys.
To the what?
I said I heard Bilu is coming up from Brazil to help you guys drive.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Bob Knodel, everyone. Hey, welcome, Bob.
How you
Hey,
doing,
Bob.
John? Hello, everybody.
How's it going, Bob?
Doing good. Just sitting here hanging out.
Oh,
Looks
Bob's
like you
on there.
guys are having a blast.
Yeah, Bob's on the show.
Stick him on.
Bob is amazing.
We've got Bob. Bob?
Give him an intro.
Yes.
We've got someone here that absolutely we all love you. This guy has got some major love for you, man. Can you say hi? You have to come here, darling.
I'll bet it's
Can
Johnny.
you take the headphones? Yeah, he's on the line. He's on
I
the
think you
line.
might be right, Bob.
Yep, so that's ScubaDracula. Hey, Johnny.
That is ScubaDracula. Oh, you can see me, can't you?
I can indeed, yes.
This is my first live stream
Yeah,
experience
man, on the camera.
in Amsterdam, in the camper.
Wow, big
This
time.
is history in the making.
You hit the trifecta.
It's been quite the experience, I gotta tell you, Bob. Meeting a lot of really cool people. And
That's
I'm really
awesome.
happy.
I understand you're coming down to Flattoberfest too, yes?
Yeah. I'm gonna see you there for sure. Absolutely. It's
That's
gonna be
awesome.
awesome. Yeah, you owe me a beer. There's a double word there.
Yep, that's correct. I do.
It was really cool to meet Rodrigo. He's a chess player as well. As you know, I love the chess. And here in Amsterdam, the Dutch, they love the chess. A lot of the bars have chess tables in them. There's a chess museum here. There's a famous chess player called Max Uru, I think his name is. I can't pronounce it right. Don't quote me. I went to that, checked it out. It was really cool. So just looking forward to. I've been exploring on my own for the last few days here. It's just amazing today to actually hang out with everybody and meet everybody on the other side of the pond per se.
Nearly said globe there, didn't you?
Yeah, you know what? I almost did. You almost got me. Yeah.
I was just going to ask you, Scuba, where have you come from? You sound Canadian to me, or is that
I'm
wrong?
very Canadian. Yes, I'm about an hour west of Toronto, Ontario.
Oh, right. Wow.
Yeah.
And you came over especially for the conference?
Absolutely, yes. You know what? I was originally there was supposed to be a Toronto conference, and that got canceled. So I was like, okay, Dallas or Amsterdam. And with Amsterdam, there was camping. I love camping, and then there's like smaller
Cannabis.
venue, cannabis, of course, but smaller venue, and also the Globe Live Tour. In all honesty, I love activism, so it drew me to come to do this because it's like, well, Amsterdam or Dallas. I mean, anybody can make that obvious choice. Which one, right?
That's cool.
Awesome, man.
And why, dare I ask, the name Scuba Vampire, is it?
Dracula.
ScubaDracula.
Why? Well, I'm a scuba diver specifically. I do a lot of recreational diving, but nothing too crazy. And Dracula is just a name that I've adopted for my friends calling me Dracula because I used to be a lot of a night hawk kind of person. So I just kind of adapt. I'm like, you know what? I think I want to find something original when I'm on here. Something's gonna stand out. I'm like, okay, this works. Let's just throw it in there and see how it goes.
Oh, nice one, because I'm a scuba diver as well, so nice to hear that.
Bob would know I actually used to have my name before it was Flat Earth Rocker, and then I changed it, and I kind of just stuck with something that's going to stand out more. I think it's just more me. I don't know.
And then it was Scuba Rocker for a while too, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was ScubaDracula FE Rocker or something like that.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah. On YouTube or Facebook, my handle is Johnny Wayne Fur Rocker, FE Rocker, and so it is what it is. I think it kind of stands out. Just that's all it is.
So when do you head back home?
I'm here till the 4th. The 4th, yeah. So we're gonna be traveling from. I might be going to Copenhagen. I was debating whether to follow the tour or not. I had made plans to go to Copenhagen until the 3rd, come back here, fly back to Canada from Amsterdam, because it's just cheaper for some reason to fly from Canada to Amsterdam, and I had a good deal at the time. It's good times though. I'm glad I came. Honestly, it's amazing to meet all these people. Like I was saying before, to everybody, all these people online, and like it feels like I know everybody here. I think it's just like family, Even Arwen here, I've only seen a few of his videos, but it's like there's such a connect with Flat Earth community when you actually get out there and you meet people face to face and you have real conversations. Just you don't even have to physically meet each other to really to enjoy yourself and feel at home. So anybody who doesn't go out to these kinds of things, you'll never regret it.
So out of all the people you've met today, who was least like how you expected them to be? As in, like, sort of someone you've never seen their face, or someone you thought was tall but was actually tiny, or
Rodrigo Schroeder, I thought he may be, I guess maybe, but no, honestly, nothing really sticks out in that sense. Kind of all as expected, I would say.
Because I've heard a lot of them are like Anunnaki. They're like 8 foot tall and stuff. Is that right?
Anunnaki?
Well, like Gary's not small. Adam's not small.
Gary's definitely tall, yeah, and Adam's pretty tall too. The only person I've actually met here previously was Jaren. I met him in Edmonton, right?
Yeah, and he's not short either, is he?
No, Jaren's pretty tall too. Yeah, I think Jaren's been having a great time. It's glad to see him here enjoying himself. It really is. I think everybody's really having a blast. And the good thing with Amsterdam and I think the Oktoberfest, and that'd be the next thing for anybody who's in the area. Check it out, because we're not going to experience too many, in my opinion, these smaller events before it gets really busy. Because Flat Earth is not.
Did we lose connection?
Damn.
Walt.
That's what it was.
It's Walt's fault.
Herded with everybody.
Hold on, we lost you there for a while. What
Oh, did it cut out?
Yeah, for some reason.
I was just saying the experience of people coming to a smaller convention is going to be more intimate as opposed to the bigger one, and they're not going to be around forever in these smaller conventions.
No,
So take advantage of
absolutely.
them while you can.
This one's quite exclusive, isn't it?
Yeah. So who am I talking to, by the way? I'm sorry, I don't even know. I don't know the voice here I'm listening to.
John Savage here on Iron Realm Media, and we're joined by Zachary Zabala of Good Times for All, Bob Knodel from Globebusters, and Josh Corey, Iron Realm Media, and Walt has just joined us.
We have
Flat Earth Head.
A whole live stream, huh?
That's right.
Yeah. The only one I know is Bob. I met Bob in Edmonton. Bob, I love you, brother. You and Cammy are amazing.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I noticed you're not wearing your sharp suit this time.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. I keep forgetting I'm on camera. You notice I cut my hair, Bob? Do you notice that? No, I don't have the long hair anymore.
Well, actually, you had it like shaved on each side, and you had a long ponytail.
Yeah, it was like undercut, right? Now, so I cut it all off, and it's funny because I plan to go to Copenhagen, Denmark. I think I got like this whole Danish look now.
You need to do the same to Adam. When he falls unconscious, someone shave that badger wig he's got on.
He says when you fall unconscious, we gotta shave your. What do you say, badger?
Badger wig. So right Scuba, who is most wasted that you've seen so far?
I might be one of those ones up there myself.
You sound quite coherent, actually.
I'm working hard for that medal. I'm working hard, I'm working hard.
There's got to be someone dribbling in the corner or vomiting or whiting somewhere, and surely not in the corner, not in the camper van, maybe.
Yeah, surprisingly nobody dribbling and spewing yet that I've experienced or seen yet. I just moved my cabin today to a new cabin, which you can probably see it if you turn. Where the cabin I'm staying is right across from the camper, and I'm staying with 3 other people who are still at the bar down in the town. So when they come back, maybe I don't know, maybe. But I definitely spent my first couple of nights here just traveling and really going through through Amsterdam and the city center area. It's very lively. To anybody who has not been, very very lively. Just not a beat to miss. So
definitely on my bucket list for sure.
Yeah, you haven't been, hey Bob?
Nope.
No.
I've never been there. I was supposed to be there this time, but we couldn't quite make everything come together. So Dee Dee and Gary wound up giving my spot to Rodrigo, which is totally cool and fine with me.
Yes,
because I love awesome. Rodrigo. So
and he plays guitar too. He brought a guitar with him. I was hoping somebody brought a guitar because I love playing guitar, and it was like I'm not flying with my guitar, but so
Hero plays guitar really well also.
I thought you were there.
Apparently, I'm live streaming.
Can I grab the guys back for a second?
Yes, yes, actually, it was a pleasure talking to you guys.
Yeah,
Bob, awesome.
Good to talk to you, Scuba. Keep up the good work.
Yes, ScubaDracula on YouTube.
Yeah,
take care, man.
Cheers, guys.
See ya.
Hi, Arwen.
All right, boys.
What's up, Arwen?
No, it's not Arwen, it's me.
Hey, Adam.
It's not Arwen.
Are you sure?
No, I'm definitely sure it's me.
Prove
honestly.
it.
I'm definitely not Arwen. I could be later. We could give it a go. Before I introduce you to Arwen, Lisa's here, who's someone, guys, from the first convention in the UK that I shared some of the poetry and stuff with, and I just want to hand you over to her. She's got a little booklet that she's going to give a little pimp, and I'll hopefully get it out there. I've only got the little pamphlet at the moment, but I'll pass it to you, Lisa, and I'll hand you over to her, guys. So she'll probably give a little description of what's in this, something she's done.
And a warm welcome to Lisa.
Kid, I'll hand you over now, guys. Here's the mic, Lisa, and then there's the guys.
Hello?
Hi, Lisa.
Hello, Lisa.
Hi.
Hello, Lisa. Are you having fun?
Yeah.
course.
It's Amsterdam.
Excellent. What's this pamphlet? It's a book you're writing, is it?
Well, no, it's like after doing the Globe Light tour in the UK, I decided that because I was getting the same questions again and again, I thought everyone's having to deal with the same questions, and it kind of got to the point where after about the 7th time I was answering what about satellites, it got a bit boring. So I just made this leaflet, and I was just thinking about all the most basic questions. I was just thinking about the most basic questions that everybody asks, the most common ones, and so I wrote them all down and I tried to answer them the best I could. But I managed to make this leaflet. I actually wrote it within 24 hours because I knew I had to get out to do this.
Excellent.
So I kind of had a time limit. So
how many questions you got?
I'll read them out.
Yeah.
And it's kind of quite basic because it's for beginners on the street. So why are people the first one is, why are people questioning the official model of the Earth and our cosmology? The second one, what evidence is there for the Apollo moon landings being faked? So that's just to kind of cover the reasons why we're talking about this, and then the rest of them are questions that most people ask. If the Earth is flat, then why can't we see to Australia and hemisphere? Why
see China?
Yeah, exactly. Why does the sun appear to set if the Earth is not a spinning globe? What is at the edge and why don't we fall off it? What about satellites? What about gravity? Why would the Earth be flat and all the other planets around?
Ooh, that's brave, covering the gravity question with what's his face around?
Well, I mean,
Riley.
I kind of like. Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is, I just only went basic, but I'm only kind of answering it because people bring it up. It's not like I've got an answer as to what it is. I don't know what it is, but, it's just that people think that gravity is what makes the ball.
That's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
You kind of have to say something because people will bring it up. What would be flat when all the other planets are around? What are the cause of the eclipses? Why would they lie about the shape of the Earth? How could they keep a secret that big? If the Earth is a spinning globe, then what is the correct cosmological model?
Fantastic. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think we've lost him. Oh, you're breaking up a bit. Tell Adam to put another 50p in the meter.
Right.
Give us some poetry, poetically. Let's get some poetic language happening.
So the poem at the end kind of summarizes the whole thing, because this is like the most, well, why does it matter what shape the Earth is? I've still got to live my life. I've still got to get to my job or whatever. So I wrote this like a while ago in response to what, other people's responses. So this poem's called Why Lie? Why does it matter the shape of the Earth? Are you mad as a hatter? Do you know your own worth? Why is it important, the place that we live? Methinks something's dormant in our heads while they live. Life's biggest question, how did we come to be, is not worth a mention. Well, flock me. Now, if it don't matter the shape of the planet, then neither do we, and neither does the mechanics, nor does the environment and the way it all ticks. Then we should all remain silent and leave it down to those pricks. Because they're doing a great job. Sure, they've got things in order. Yeah, right, with their paint job CGI trying to fool ya. So they show us a painting and they call it blue marble, and we're meant to sit there in awe and just marvel. So why does it matter if 90-odd billion has been handed to NASA via slave mason civilians? Why does it matter if land's been hidden and parts of our Tierra section are often forbidden? Why would it matter if there were other continents and each of our nations have been bred with incompetence? Why does it matter if we lied to our children, for many generations intellectually killed them? Why does it matter that we don't have one photo of Pachamama from space and space travel's a no-go? What if man's greatest achievement was all a big lie, with tricks up their sleeves, and they never did fly? Why does it matter if we never go to Mars at terminal velocity and escape this charade? Why does it matter if they're taking your money and spacemen are actors? Well, who gives a monkey? Why does it matter if we didn't evolve the way that they told us, and the Earth don't revolve. The sun ain't that far, and neither are the celestial bodies or stars. Why is it around Tesla and geocentric?
No.
Crap.
Damn, I was willing that
Why
not
would
to
it matter
happen.
if the Earth's not a globe?
Sorry, back that up about two verses or so. You're cutting out. Tell Adam to put some more money in the machine.
Did you not hear it then?
Yeah, no, just back it up about 30 seconds.
Why does it matter if the maps are all wrong with different sized continents or composites? Come on. Why would it matter? The Earth's not a globe, and the truth is plain sight, right in front of your nose. Why would it matter if the ancients were right and the Earth doesn't move and our teachings are shite? Does it matter if my science is wrong? That holds a ball lie together and the list still goes. What if we disagree on nothing is even slightly they tell us at all?
Oh, wow.
What if the stars all revolve around us? Wouldn't that be bizarre and quite scandalous? Why does it matter if we're paying their wages so they can secure us boxed up in our cages? So they can play silly games with our heads, and the true nature of reality is given no cred. What if they're lying to make us confused? They're madly in the make-believe zoos. If they know that the bigger the lie, the small ones will be. Why would it matter if our species was farmed? Of course it don't matter. There's no cause for alarm. Why does it matter if they're hiding resources whilst we're breaking our back and don't know what the source is? What if, without their BS, we'd fly higher, divinely inspired, living out our desires? And what if we're not a mere rock flying through space? And if we came to know this, we might stop all the chase and realize the treasures on Earth and get grounded, start working together a little less clouded. Why would it matter if the Earth was unique and made by design, full of wonder, mystique? So sorry to drop all this info like acid, but if it was true, the implications are massive. Yeah.
That's awesome,
Alright,
Lisa.
mate.
So beautiful. Wow.
That was really
Yeah, you need to post that somewhere, man.
What's that?
Is that, have you posted that on social media? Can we get a copy of that?
Yeah, it's on my blog. I've got a flat earth blog and it's called therealhatfit.blogspot.com. And I've got a lot of other poems on there as well, including I did one called The History of Flat Earth, and I basically dissected Eric DeBay's video, The History of Flat Earth, and I just like translated it into poetry. So there's a lot of stuff on there, including my journey as well, my flat Earth journey, and I've got like flat Earth anagrams, all sorts.
What was that blog again?
It's called therealhatfit.blogspot.com.
The real hat, as in hat on your head?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
fit.blogspot.com. And the reason I called it The Real Hat Fits is because The Real Hat Fits is an anagram of the Earth is flat.
That's awesome. I like it.
So
Love
cool.
It. Very
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, no, I think that should be put to music with Alex. What do you reckon, Bob?
I absolutely agree. I think Alex would make that perfect.
Cool.
Yeah, I definitely want to put it to music.
What does it matter? Called What Does It Matter?
It's called Why Lie, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, get it right, Savage.
We'll have to pitch that to Alex. He'll be on Glowbusters on Sunday.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, he's kicking off his new album. It will be kicked off on Sunday. We have had an opportunity to listen to it. It is fabulous.
Man.
I was going to say, Zach was raving about it.
Mm.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I'm waiting for my BitTorrent. No, really cool. Yeah, really liking that. Is Alex up there at Amsterdam at the moment? Because he's in Europe, isn't he?
Seen him, I don't think so.
Don't
Yeah,
think
he's
so.
in Spain actually.
Yeah, that's Europe.
Yep. Well, yeah, I know, but it is in Amsterdam.
I know you know. But it's not like the States, you see. In Europe, you know, going 100 miles is a nightmare. It's not like in the States or like my wife in Australia. It's like, yeah, it's just 8 hours away. You know, we pop up every weekend. It's like, unbelievable. But
We can all hear you now, guys. We've realised if we unplug the headset, we could hear the speakers on the phone. This is how slow things happen in Amsterdam.
Genius, Adam. You can hear us.
That's great.
Yeah. So we.
And I don't hear us, so that's good. No feedback, no looping,
no echoage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I can't speak properly. Let me hand you over to Arwen. Yeah. Because
what?
Now you've got to do your bit. You're the main line, the headline. The one, the only. My roommate for the evening, Mr. Harvey. See, that's magic for you, bro. So let's do it.
What's up, Arwen?
Hey, Arwen.
Yeah.
Arwen with a J.
I'm glad you were able to make it.
It's nice to see you with the top on.
Right. Yeah, well, it's weather that's gonna be just boring.
Must be getting quite warm in that van.
Yeah. My feet are dried out, John. It's pissing it down, honestly.
It's Amsterdam. What do you expect? You're lucky it's not sleeting and snowing on you.
Close. It's been lovely. It was lovely today. But anyway, don't talk to me. Arwen's there. I'm going to bed in a minute.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Hurry up. We're off to bed.
You and Arwen, yeah?
I'll then we're going to the cabin. So I can't leave without.
I think that's
but,
you can share a twin bed.
We got upstairs and downstairs bunks. Are you upstairs or downstairs? I'm down there. I'm a downy. I don't like sleeping in the air.
Okay.
On the ground.
Have you turned the microphone off, Adam? Have you turned the big golden dildo off?
No, the dildo's out. Celebrity dildo's out. Keep glowing.
Because people are coming through muffled other than you who's yelling.
Well, there you go.
That's because he's loud.
He is. He can be.
I was born with.
You know I'm the only one that will tell you these things, Adam. I'm not picky or anything. I'm just the only one that will tell you.
You are bloody picky, Savage. No, sod off. Right.
It's kind of like Morgile was. Morgile never even needed a microphone.
Don't you stop, Knodel. I'm not. It's harsh, isn't it? Prejudice.
Shout out to Morgar. I see he's reading. Shit, what's he reading?
Oh, I forget what it was.
Chapter 8 he's on. I've missed all of them. I'm obviously not getting his.
Right, before you get into Morgale's reading, we're off because we're knackered, and as you know, right, it's a stupidly early start. Let me stop facing this camera at least. So it's not
You're trying to pike out now, aren't you? Because you want to get proper bollocks.
Oh, I've turned him off whilst he's criticising me.
No, you haven't. Don't worry. I'm still criticising.
No, carry on.
Get a haircut, you hippie.
I didn't hear it. There we go. Okay. Right. No, we're knackered, mate. Stupidly early. Everyone's gone. We're keeping Roxanne from her bed. She's gone. Rox has gone to bed. Jason's going, piss off. This is my home. So, right.
Jason
Right,
would
guys.
2 years ago.
Yeah, I'll get you lot. John, I assume you won't be up early to see me streaming in the morning, so
No
I'll
chance.
catch you tomorrow.
I won't even remember tonight. But no, thanks guys. It's been brilliant. I feel like I'm there. I wish I was, ish. And you never know if I am. I've sent you another message, Adam. But
don't pretend to me that you're in Amsterdam Square in a fucking.
you missed it. You missed it.
I'm not having it.
You've missed it by a quarter of an hour.
No, I'm not having
I was outside the Dolphin. Look at your messages.
If you weren't raving, I'd give it a go. But you can bollock.
I was outside the Dolphin.
I said meet me there at 1:15. Like, that was the time you found the message last time. I even gave you a chance, you see. Anyway, never mind.
Right.
Wait now.
Guys, I'm off to go and put some wet shoes on and head back. So I'll.
You guys take it easy. Love to you all. We'll be watching with bated breath tomorrow. Now get properly bollocksed, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for taking the time out tonight with us, guys. We really appreciate.
Yeah, much obliged.
You guys hanging in there for us.
Awesome to see you guys.
All right. God bless, guys. I'll catch you soon, and I'll see you in the streams tomorrow.
Have fun. Give Douglas Falk our best. Everyone else give hugs all around.
I was mud flooding with Douglas tonight. He was taking on some mud flood information, so you never know. Next novel, we might have started, but yeah, wicked. Right, guys, love you all. I'll see you soon. Yeah,
love you, Ed.
You and Arwen sleep well.
Love you, bruv. Later.
It's brilliant. It's a real vibe over there. You can feel it when you're watching it, and it's really cool. I wish I was there, but not.
But not.
Yeah, I bet everybody's half burned out from all the jet lag and all the partying, and the presentations ought to be interesting tomorrow.
I don't know how they do it. I honestly don't know how they do it. I mean, Jason just looked drained, didn't he? He was just, and I don't blame him. The guy's been on the run for, God, it feels like months now.
And that's the way it is too. You know, when you get to the conferences, everybody wants to, sit around and socialize and party all night, and then they start well, I think they're starting it there at 9 o'clock?
In the morning.
Yeah, and we started the U.S. ones at like 8 a.m.
Yeah.
So I couldn't believe it was actually hard to get up at 7 o'clock and get in the shower and get downstairs. But yeah, you've been up all night partying, and it's a different story.
If I planned it, I would plan it from like 3 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Yeah, you know it.
Exactly.
Breakfast brunch type open buffet thing. You could wander down, graze as you get hungry, and just meander on around 3 o'clock and kick things off.
I think we should arrange the normal people's flat Earth convention, Josh, for us normals.
Ooh, I've got a costume. I've got a St. Louis Cardinals t-shirt. That's my normie costume. I'm going to wear it for Halloween. Look at me, I'm a normie. Hey, sports ball. I'm like that other Zach.
Yeah. Go team, yeah.
Like your lips move again.
Go sports ball. Go sports ball. There you go.
Definitely a nice late start after a leisurely lunch, or a nice fry up, and then a nice late start. Yeah, and long into the evening, retire to the bar with big cigars. Jobs are good.
Yep. Wrapped it up by 9. You get a few hours in before closing time.
Well, I would just say all phones, photo cameras, anything capable of going live, any devices need to be handed in by 9, and then the party can really start. That's probably when I'd join, when there's no chance of any ranty going live and streaming drunk people at 2 o'clock in the morning on a
Drunk Savage.
Christian golf course. Drunk Savage, I know. Oh, perish the thought. Couldn't have that. Whew.
I know it was cracking me up when he was running around the other night getting lost, trying to follow everybody.
He reminds me of Clouseau or something.
Yeah, right. That's funny.
Yeah,
So,
it was.
Zach showed you guys the gyro video on the magnet, or at least one of them, right?
Yeah, I saw that. What's your explanation for that then?
Well, it's actually pretty easy. Here, let me actually, I'll bring up the other one because you guys only saw one of them. There's actually two of them. So let me I guess share this one. And I will go ahead and play that. Okay, so what we're seeing here is something that this phenomenon is caused by an effect called Lenz's law. And what Lenz's law does is as the flywheel of the gyroscope is spinning, it is crossing the magnetic field that is being emanated from the little neodymium magnet, okay? And the other one, here's the other one. And so what's happening is Lenz's law will cause the induced magnetic field to oppose any change in the original magnetic field. So what we'll do is because of the current that is induced into the flywheel, it will then create its own magnetic field that is in opposition to the magnet's magnetic field, and it will spin the magnet around. Then, of course, when that happens, then the whole process goes all over again. The magnet then cuts across the brass flywheel, which creates this Lenz's law effect, and which then generates an opposing magnetic field, which then repulses the magnet and spins it around in the opposite direction.
When you say opposing, is it a 90-degree offset, like with most things with a gyro?
Yeah, it is.
Gotcha.
Actually, yeah. So.
Hence the spin. Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, hence the spin. So it's really pretty simple what's actually happening there. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, if I stop that.
Did someone say so?
I still think it's sorcery. I don't care what you say.
At this point, gyroscopes are sorcery, I think. I think there's a lot more to be found. We were discussing this earlier, Bob. I think there's a lot more to be found out about gyroscopes. And a topic I really want to cover in depth at some point is gyro compasses, because I've had that thrown at me a million times. Have you done a lot of research into gyro compasses?
Not a lot, a little bit. We're just now starting to talk about them in FE Core. So I am looking into them, and once I learn a little bit more about them to the point where I'm fairly familiar, it'd be great if I actually had one to play with, but they're rather expensive. So
they are expensive.
That's not happen anytime soon.
Yeah, I looked at one. I think they were about I think $60,000 or $70,000 for
an old used one.
Yeah, what was the guy who always made gyroscopic instruments back in the day? Spivvy, I can't remember his name now.
Something like that.
But yeah, they're not cheap and they don't come up very often either. But yeah, I delved into it for a good couple of days a couple of years ago, and sort of came to the conclusion that they're not what they explain that they are to us.
Not at all. No. They say the rotation of the Earth and gravity affect them.
Yeah, there's something really odd about them. I just couldn't see. Well, it was the same with the bearing indicators on planes that had to be adjusted every 15 minutes, and it just seemed ludicrous that you would rely on something that slaved to a magnetic compass, an analog magnetic compass, and had to be adjusted every 15 minutes. It was like, but there's something odd about the gyro compass that I really want to get to the bottom of at some point.
Well, you would have to understand what's going on with the gyroscope, and how it's interacting with the magnetic field, I don't think we quite fully understand that yet.
Yeah, we're actually learning all kinds of interesting things about gyroscopes and magnetic fields and fiber optic gyros.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't put off a ferromagnetic because it doesn't get picked up in the ferrocell.
Yeah, you're not, which is interesting. I thought that we might be able to see a field emanating off of it, but that's
cool
not
idea.
the case. But Lenz's law. Now, did you try that? Did you try that with the magnet next to it? Because you should be able to see an effect.
I need to do that.
Yeah, you should be able to see an effect, from the Lenz's law on that, Zach. Because, well, if you read it here, it says that the direction of the current induced in a conductor, that would be the gyro in this case, by a changing magnetic field, such as the magnetic field created by the induced current opposes the initial changing magnetic field. So that's all that's happening. The movement of the gyro is there is getting a current induced in it, which of course, whenever you have a current, you automatically induce an opposing magnetic field, which repulses the magnet. So you should be able to actually see that in the ferrocell, but I'm not sure how well that's going to be picked up, but it should be there.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. All kinds of fun stuff to figure out, though. I can definitely say that.
Yeah, still trying to get my head around it, but it's I mean, are there videos of other people demonstrating this? That's a pretty cool demonstration to have at a college or something, isn't there?
Well, the closest thing as far as a video demonstration to Lenz's law would be the magnet dropping through a copper pipe, because that's essentially the same effect. You're moving the magnetic field down through the copper pipe, and as that field passes through the copper pipe, it's actually inducing a current, which is then creating a counter magnetic field, and so it kind of acts as a braking mechanism.
Would that current be measurable, do you think? So if you hooked a pipe up to a couple of electrodes and dropped the magnet through it, you could see something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah, you should be able to measure it. Absolutely.
That'd be interesting.
Yep.
Or measure the ohms or something. Would that have?
Good idea, Savage.
Well, it would be a very small voltage that you would see. You wouldn't necessarily read it on an ohm scale or resistance scale, but there would be a small voltage that would be generated across that pipe.
Yeah, I overstepped my mark there where I said ohms because I forgot I was talking to an electrical engineer who's just going to blow me away.
No worries. Yeah, but you had the right idea. But yeah, absolutely, you should be able to measure it across there. So
that'd be quite interesting. That would just. It would add to the preponderance of evidence that is what is going on. I don't know. It's just things I read on Wiki. I automatically think the opposite and think, nope, that's absolutely the opposite of what's going on. There's something else they're hiding. But that's just me.
Yeah, there's so much to learn with gyroscopes, and like I said, FE Core has been a buzz with Stefan's gyro and all these nifty things that we have been discovering, and that will all be released in due time. But suffice it to say that everybody's just going, "Wow, that's so cool!"
I know. I'm trying to keep up with the chat. It's just like streaming by, but it's really hard to try and keep up with. Well, it's a couple of hundred posts a day, or at least every couple of days. But it seems like,
and that's only one out of the three. We actually have three of them that are very active. The fog, and then the magnets, and the regular gyro. So we have all these different sub chats going on besides that main Skype chat.
Yeah, anyone who says you guys are wasting your time or just twiddling your fingers is talking out of their arse, because I see a snapshot, a small part of what goes on at FE Core, and it just boggles me every time I look at it that people are so dedicated and interested in getting to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
Mike Kavanagh especially has just got more energy than most people I know put together.
Yeah, he is amazing. And of course, Sandor and Stefan and Rick, I mean, they are just, it's like, I wonder if they ever sleep sometimes, to be honest with you. I mean, they're always something's going on. So yeah, we have a great bunch of guys and they are all very much dedicated to, understanding what's going on. And I'm just, I'm honored to be associated with them, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. And associated with you, Bob. Unbelievable. Did you see Mike Kavanagh got arrested today?
Well, he didn't get arrested. He got harassed, but he's the kind of guy that he won't take any crap from the cops. So I'm surprised he didn't get arrested, but he
Yeah.
did get fined like something like $125 or something like that.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Had a bit of previous in Amsterdam apparently, but yeah, I'll be interested to hear that story.
Yeah. Well, he's got quite the history with the authorities there anyway because of all of his interesting tax stuff that goes on, and he continually keeps kicking their butt on that. And that in and of itself is an awesome story. I hope he tells it publicly someday.
Yeah, I've been trying to get him on here to do the same. Both Adam, myself, and Josh are quite interested in law, and Mike is the vanguard over in Holland, as far as I can tell. He's one of the only people that has managed to sort of come out the law system the other side without an identity, not paying taxes and not basically playing their bullshit games. And yeah, we love a bit of that.
Yeah, I'd love to hear all of his secrets. And there are other people that are doing that, and it all has something to do with, being a sovereign individual. And I've heard bits and pieces from several different people on how you can actually achieve that. But Mike is one of those people that has actually pulled it off, and taking it through the courts and won every time.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
he's incredible.
Absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Just the size of the balls you need to do that in the first place, especially when you've got a family and a house and assets and things that they can literally potentially strip off you. You've got to know what you're doing, and you have to have a huge amount of courage to do it. I've dabbled myself in a number of areas, but nothing on the scale that Mike has done. But it's one of those things, isn't it, that it's something I would do if I was put in that situation. And what I spend most of my time doing is avoid being put in that situation. So yeah, it may well happen at some time, but I think we've all got it in us. It's just having the knowledge to know that you're standing in the right, and once you have that knowledge, that's invaluable as far as I can tell. It's just the difference between carrying on and buckling to their bullshit games. But yeah, kudos to him.
Yeah. Well, in addition to that, in addition to having the knowledge to know that you're in the right, he also, has to deal with the people that come to his house, or the law enforcement individuals that don't know that he's in the right and believe they're in the right. And he has to deal with that. And there's always the potential for any type of false arrest, because they don't know any better or anything like that. But you've got to have nuts of steel, essentially, to really stand up and face that and know, like you said, know you're in the right and you're going to come out on top. So yeah, I have a lot of respect for him because of that.
Yeah, likewise. Anyway, I'll stop hogging it.
Yep, me too. I just wanted to come on and explain Lenz's law and how that was working with the gyro, but it is kind of a nifty little effect. So I thought that I would explain that for everybody.
Yeah, cheers for that. I think we're going to have to go away and look up yet another law and learn another new paradigm. It's interesting stuff. I've been fascinated with magnets since I was a kid.
Yeah, it's amazing how much we were never taught about magnets, and really the secret to everything is in the magnet. I think gravity, we've been looking a lot at gravity and magnetism and the true nature of what they're calling gravity, right? And I've always kind of talked about gravity being this electrostatic effect, and in a lot of ways it is, but I think that it's really more of a magnetic effect than anything. And the difference is that you have magnetism, which is like a coherent type of magnetic field, kind of like laser light. If you had a 5-watt refrigerator light or 20-watt refrigerator light and it's non-coherent, incoherent, it doesn't really do much. But if you take that and you make it a coherent, like a laser, it'll start burning holes and things. Well, the same general thing is true. Magnetism in a coherent type of field is, um, the effect that we see with what we're calling magnetic attraction and things like that. Magnetism in an incoherent field, and by the way, this is something that Zach is going to be doing a video on, because we've been talking about this to show uh, the difference of coherent and incoherent magnetic fields. And essentially, when you get magnetism in an incoherent type of field, that is the effect that we call gravity. And that's something we'll be covering more on Globebusters, and Zach's going to be doing videos on it.
That makes perfect sense. And Zach put out a video this week, wasn't it, with the magnetic balls all scrunched up. Yeah, showing them on well, talk us through that, Zach, because that shows exactly what Bob was just talking about, the coherency of when you get the coherency right, then you get that perfect field. And yeah, talk us through that, mate.
Yeah, when the balls are stretched out and lined up all in unison and the poles are running through them straight, you'll get your magnetic field. You get a nice dielectric plane, and the magnetic field will be huge. But as you take them all together and scrunch them up and get them all incoherent, discombobulated, the magnetic field shrinks to almost nothing. You see little fingers come off like this instead of sticking out this far. They're real small, teeny tiny little things, and it looks like they're all wrapped around each other.
And I was saying that it wouldn't surprise me that if what we're given is, let's say, for example, a battery, if it is arranged in such a way as to only give off an incoherent voltage, so you've got this battery the size of your finger and it gives off 1.5 volts or whatever, but if you rearranged it into a coherent fashion, you could run your house off that one battery the size of your finger. I can't help thinking that this is the sort of thing they've given us a retarded version of everything, and it's up to us that if we rearranged it into a natural coherent version, then you would have everything that we want, basically.
Yes, absolutely true. And it all comes down to energy coherency, or the Q of things, or the energy transfer resonance. All these things are basically kind of different terms for more or less the same type of effect. But and that's one of the reasons I think that they have never really taught us much about magnetism, because not only are the secrets of gravity and magnetism, but the secrets of anti-gravity are as well.
Levity.
And yeah, levity, absolutely. So, and one thing I can say for certain is that it is not relative density, in and of itself. Relative density is a part of this, but relative density is not a force. And, that initial incoherent force is actually magnetic at its very base. And even Ken Wheeler says this, he says, the magnetic field, the gravimetric, or the gravitic field, and the electric field or electrostatic field are all three heads of the exact same hydra. And he is absolutely correct when he says that.
Wow, cool. trying to get my head around that. So is the relative density thing, is that just the movement of something that's out of equilibrium into equilibrium?
Yeah, pretty much. But again, like we've demonstrated, I think a long time ago when I did the show on gravity on Globebusters, we were trying to show that when you take away that downward acceleration, or at least the effect of it, by the use of a vomit comet, then the relative density argument falls apart, because there is no initial downward force there to cause any separation of different mediums. So that's one thing that is absolutely important. It's a prime ingredient to be able to have that initial downward force, that thing that is establishing up from down, or that incoherent magnetic field, in order for relative density and buoyancy to become effective. Otherwise, they're moot. You can't have relative density and buoyancy effects without that initial downward gravimetric pull, push,
Gotcha.
whatever we want to call it.
And do you call it an incoherent field because it's so weak?
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
But it
because
could be focused to be a coherent, and then, like you say, we all have our flying cars.
yes, and you can absolutely focus it, make it coherent. As Zach was giving that example with the magnets, it's the dipole alignment theory, and I've talked about this on Globebusters too. When you actually get the poles, the dipole aligned, it becomes a coherent field, and it becomes much, much stronger.
Right, yeah. Does Ken Wheeler dabble in gyroscopes at all, do you know? I try to keep up with him, but blimey, I can't.
I don't really think I've seen too much on gyroscopes from Ken. It would be really interesting if he did, though.
Yeah, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be interesting to send that video to him?
He's played a little bit with them, I know, but only the toy ones you spin up with the string.
Well,
none of the precision ones.
Those are the only ones that are available to 99.9% of mankind. It's only when you get someone like
us.
Yeah, well,
you, me, Bob,
F.E. Core, Stefan building his own.
Yeah, no doubt.
That just knocked it out the park. But now he has a bit of kit to really play with. I'd love to see Ken Wheeler's take on that. I'm sure he'd be bloody interested in that. Well, he'd probably just go, yeah, well, of course it would.
Yeah, well, he keeps slowly but surely building our case. I don't know if you saw last week when I was showing his video on
yeah,
the
I did.
dielectric inertial plane. It's like, Ken, do you realize what you're saying, buddy?
He didn't like that, did he? I didn't do
No,
that.
he didn't.
I did not do that. La la la, crank call. No. Yeah. Something tells me, like you said, he works for Apple, or at least he contracts to some large companies. He's not a simpleton, that's for sure. Have you read his books, the magnetism books and those sort of things?
I have. In fact, I was so impressed with his third edition magnetism book. I went and I had it printed out at Kinko's, and it cost me almost $100 to have it all printed out and bound. And I'm going to do the same thing with the fourth edition too. But I mean, it's that good. It's worth it.
Yeah. These are the books that will go down in history to come. I think. Have you? I asked you a while back whether you'd heard of Jim McCanny. I was just wondering, have you got any of his books?
No, but Professor James McCanny is somebody that I followed for years. I think he's spot on a lot of his stuff. I never read his books, but I've read a lot of his material online.
I'll send you his books.
Oh, cool.
I've got them all. Yeah. There's some. I say I've got them all. I haven't got the one. He wrote a book about prime numbers, and it solved the prime number. There's this sort of mythical prime number problem that can't be solved. Have you ever heard of that?
No, I don't think I have.
I think it was something to do with predicting prime numbers or something. But he wrote a whole book predicting it and solving the whole equation. And I've always wondered why he was never better known. You know, I mean, I don't know. I don't know anyone else who's heard of him other than you. So and likewise, I've been following him since, I don't know, or at least keeping up with his weekly podcasts from probably about 10 years now. But he completely fell off the table when Flat Earth came around, because he's basing a lot of his information on NASA and the data coming from NASA. And it was like when NASA were telling us the nonsense about the shuttle being in space with a tether. You remember that?
Yep.
And how
I sure do.
I mean, he was screaming, you know, for months beforehand when he heard about it, saying, "Don't do it. It's going to be a catastrophe. It's going to generate some electric field." And lo and behold, they came out and told us a story that it did actually electrocute or did something. I can't remember what it was. It's been so long since I've looked into it, but
it generated such a current surge that it burnt the tether in two, and that's why it supposedly broke off. And you know, that's something that I've used in demonstration, talking about how if you have these long tethers, just like the spiders do when they cast their silk, and they change the charge potential on it, it literally allows them to go up and down vertically, you know, kind of more or less defying gravity, right? By coming up with a coherent field.
Levity.
And yeah, levity, exactly. So, I mean, nature's always known. And these examples are beautiful, and that's exactly where NASA got the idea from. You know, and you can tether a balloon the same way. So, yeah.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, what is to stop everyone just, you know, launching a balloon and a wire?
Well, yeah, but you've got to have and anybody can do that. You've just got to have a mechanism to change the static potential of that wire. And that's the key thing. And they have to be fairly long also, because again, you're dealing with a very weak type of force. That's why NASA talks about having these things. Sometimes they're like kilometers long. In fact, the one that McCanny was talking about was the one that was allegedly something like 2 or 3 or 4 kilometers long. It was really, really long.
Yeah, well, this is what I was wondering about these, you know, these unmanned sort of solar planes, they tell us, or even these balloon satellites that they're launching from Antarctica or stuff. I mean, is there is there something that they could trail as a tether that would generate electricity that could power the vehicle that it's tethered from? Would that be something that's doable, do you think? Like a spider?
Potentially, yes. But again, it's a very, very, you know, weak type of field. It'd have to be really, really long. And there may be a better way to actually harvest that. And I'm sure there probably is, but I don't know what that is.
Gotcha.
You know?
Yeah.
But it's the right idea. You're definitely on the right track.
It's quite fascinating, isn't it? I mean, if a spider can do it, and if anyone can, as long as it's scaled up, I suppose.
Yep. Because that's the thing about electricity and plasma. You know, you can, it's totally scalable. So anything that works on a small scale will work on a galactic scale, you know, quite literally.
Yeah.
You know,
how cool is
relatively speaking, of course. Whatever a galactic scale is.
You got to add that to the end of everything, really, haven't we? Relatively speaking.
That's when they build a space elevator and hang it off the moon to descend down to the Earth.
Oh,
I think that's a galactic scale.
Yeah. You know, I remember when Hoagland first came out with that, when they were pitching the space elevator, I was thinking, yeah, that could work. They would just have to build it at the equator so that the centrifugal force would, you know, throw that thing up in the air, right? And God, was I naive.
They just fling it right up there.
I remember thinking exactly the same, Bob. Don't worry. I was thinking, yeah, man, that would work. The centrifugal force would just put it. It would be always taut, and didn't quite think it through there, did I?
Yep, because all you would need is something strong enough to hold it, and of course the carbon nanotubes, the buckyball tubes would be, just that thing, the carbon nanofiber.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yep.
I saw an article. They're resurrecting that again now. That this space elevator to the moon. They're literally talking about it seriously again, and
Yeah, Robbie Davidson did a video on that very recently.
that's probably what I saw.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
It just gets more and more bizarre. They're never going to cave in. They're clearly going to double down and double down and double down. So I don't know how we deal with that, but these stories are going to get more and more ludicrous, or just revamped again and again. I think that was a great idea you had, Josh, about blogging your talking points on TFR, because no matter how many times you say that they're growing lettuce in space, or they found water on Mars or on the moon or whatever, people forget again and again and again. It was like all these climate scares they had from the 70s or 60s, 50s, all the way up, how it was an ice age, a cold age, a hot age, and the seas were rising and the ozone's going to kill us and all this sort of stuff. But when you see it listed in sort of chronological order about how all these predictions and stuff, it really then knocks it home to you. So yeah, I think building a database, Josh, is a good idea with all the space letters you cover.
Yeah, that's going to be in the plans. I still on my to-do list is to make that website somewhat workable.
Just waiting to fill that secretary role. We've been advertising for a long time, haven't we?
Yeah, secretary would be real nice, or at least something I could do on my phone on the go, on the fly.
We're not getting much feedback, I think, on account of this salary equals 0.
It could be it.
Never mind. So, Bob, what's happening in your life? When are you moving then?
Well, we're wondering if we should attempt to move now, or if we should wait a little bit, because from what the realtors tell us, the best time to put a house on the market is like February to March, right around, before spring starts.
Yeah.
And typically, when you look at the trends of that, and we had a realtor actually send us trends on that, people get a lot more money for their house. And so we're looking at, some of the house values around here, and potentially we could get another $20,000 to $30,000 out of this house, statistically, if we waited until February or March. So we're very seriously considering that.
So how do they sell property over there? Do they auction it, or does it go up for a set price?
What do you mean? What kind of property?
Well, like in Australia, they'll have like a property auction where the people turn up literally on the front lawn and bid on the property on a Saturday morning. Or say in the UK, you put your house on the market for 180 grand and you wait for people to make an offer.
Oh, okay. Well, they do auctions here, but usually only if your property is in foreclosure, and ours definitely is not in foreclosure. We've never missed a payment.
You sound like someone's accused you of that.
Oh, no,
the trolls been getting at you?
No, not at all.
I've heard you accused. I've heard you must be a shill because you have your own house and a job and a motorbike. That's a classic I've heard.
Yes, yeah, because and a place in Hawaii, and yeah, of course, when you have all that stuff, obviously you're a shill.
Obviously, I mean it's it's either that or you're a homeless bum, so you're obviously a shill sellout or something. I mean, you just can't bloody win in this game, can you? But
Yeah.
but no, I wish you good luck on flogging the house, because yeah, I've only done it once, and that was a 1-bed flat in London, and that was hell on earth. My God, I don't envy anyone who's selling anything. The amount of shit that can be drawn up these days with solicitors, estate agents, and all the other stuff. It's it's one to be taking your heart pills or boner pills, whatever suits you best.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. But anyway,
But-
other than that, things are going really well. The house looks terrific. I got to give it that much.
Always the case just before you flog it, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it does. It looks super. The stucco looks beautiful. I mean, it literally looks brand new again. And so, yeah, that's a good thing. So if we do wait a few more months to sell it, then at least we'll get to enjoy it for a while before we sell it.
So you got no chance of renting it and having the rent pay for your place elsewhere, because
Well,
Colorado is hot property at the moment, isn't it?
yeah. Oh, it's very hot. That's why. And no, I would never rent this place because renters, you just never know. I mean, you could get somebody that could completely trash this place, and yeah. So no, we'll either stay here until we decide to sell it, but renting is definitely not an option.
Yeah, with the liability as a landlord is ridiculous. You almost have to pay for a property manager to deal with your tenants and the property itself, and that is expensive.
That's the same in the UK. You don't rent a place yourself, you pay an estate agent to rent it for you. Which they charge about 15%, I think. But yeah, no, I understand. You could end up with someone like Jaron or someone in there.
Actually, Jaron would be a dream tenant.
Yeah.
I mean, Missa keeps that house spotless. So yeah, that would be awesome.
So Missa didn't go to Amsterdam with Jaron?
Nope, no, she had to stay home and take care of their dog. Apparently, their dog has seizures, and plus there just wasn't enough money to get 2 plane tickets out there. And unfortunately, she's not going to be able to make it to Dallas either. So, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. It sucks about the dog as well. That's a new dog, isn't it?
They've had it for a few months. They actually rescued it, I think, from a Walmart parking lot or somewhere. They found it. It was just like kind of abandoned little puppy, and they picked it up and had it ever since. First it was Mr. Puppy, now it's Miss Puppy. So they figured out what sex it was.
Oh, well, good luck.
Yeah, I remember Mrs. saying they were calling her Terpuppy. Miss, as in Miss, Terpuppy.
Love it. Right, well, I don't know how long we've been going, Josh. Let's have a butcher's.
Do you not?
2 hours. 2.25 hours.
You just can't do a show without a bit of maths, can you, John? God damn.
Or plumbing.
No, it's been a while. It's a little over 2 hours, I suppose. I don't even know what time we start. Like almost 5, I guess. So yeah, coming up on 2.5.
We were a bit late, weren't we?
Yeah, well,
Then we
traffic could be a bear.
And we had to hunt the Meekin down in the midst of Amsterdam, the fug of Amsterdam. Cool. It's like home from home. Sorry, Rob.
They're starting tomorrow at 9 a.m. Is that right? And I think Amsterdam is 8 hours ahead of Colorado. So if I stayed up till 1 in the morning, I could see them actually kick it off tomorrow.
Well, it's nearly 1:15 here.
Yeah, I suppose it would be a good idea to wrap it up at some point, eh?
I could still get to Amsterdam.
Don't you're there already.
I told him to meet me at 1:15, but that was an hour ago for him. In the Dolphin, I said I'll be
You're
upstairs.
In the cabin right next to him.
Actually, don't tell him. But you know that guy he was talking to, Piero?
That was you.
Did you like the accent?
Yeah, that was good.
and I stuck my false tooth in. I really
Well,
got
you're
him.
the one that said you wanted to talk to Globebusters then, right?
Oh, bugger, was I? Well, look at me. I'm talking to Globebusters.
You pulled it off.
I pulled it off. Oh dear, wouldn't it be fun to do something like that? Gary was trying to talk me into it. Turning up, just don't talk to Adam for the whole time. And then telling me we're there, get photos with her, get selfies. Yeah, that'd be funny. Anyway, I'm about spent, so I think on that note, I'm at least going to bugger off before I start slurring and pulling whiteys like they should be doing in Amsterdam around about now. So, yep, it's been a pleasure. Great to have you on, Bob. Thanks for backing us up there.
Oh, no problem. Glad to be here. I'm gonna bail too. I still have to put together my show for Sunday. Like I said, we're having Alex on at first to kick off his new album, and I'm not sure what we're doing after that because I know Jaron and Iru are in Amsterdam, and they may be joining us remotely, but I'm not sure. So I got to come up with a contingency plan. So I got to work.
That could be kind of a clusterfuck too, Bob. Just as FYI.
Yeah, totally. I get that from just from watching what's going on, here. So
Yeah, I look forward to Globebusters on Sunday every Sunday night. That is. So yeah, I'll be tuning in for that. Good luck to that. And on that note, I'll say goodbye. Cheers, Zach. Cheers, Josh. Cheers, Walt. You were there. Cheers, Adam, and everyone that was with him. And that's as much as I can do.
All right, John, love you. Happy plumbing.
Love you, cuz.
Take it easy, guys.
Okay, I'll see you later, John.
Enjoy your weekend, Bob. You have a great rest of your weekend too. Again, thanks for coming to hang out with us and fill in time while we waited for the clusterfuck to blow through.
Absolutely, anytime. I enjoy being able to come on the show every once in a while and hang out with you guys. So we will see you guys Sunday.
Awesome, definitely will.
Sounds good.
Thanks again, Bob.
All right, see you guys later. Bye bye.
Bye bye. And I do just rib Adam a little bit. It wasn't that much of a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
With
Worked
the microphone,
out all right, actually, didn't it?
It did. It worked out really well with that microphone and everything, even though it was the dollar microphone from Toys R Us.
Come here.
No, I think it worked out really well. So thanks, Adam. We really appreciate you taking time out of your trip to Amsterdam to stream it live. Try to include us a little bit. I thoroughly appreciate it because as much as I want to be there, there wasn't a chance in hell I'd make it to Amsterdam. Probably not a chance in hell I'd make it to Texas either, but we'll see. I guess stranger things have happened. Let's see. We still got Tuesdays and Friday mornings over there on TFR doing Ironworks. Zach and Walt and I hanging out with whoever wants to join in, really. You never know who in the hell is going to pop in over there on the Ironworks. I'm surprised myself often who shows up on the call board, who shows up in chat. It's good stuff. You guys really ought to tune in and find out for yourself.
Yeah, we have fun.
We do have a really good time. And we do try to keep track of the space lettuce. Bring some of the most ridiculous stories out there to you. The one that really got me this morning was this, 12 deaths, 90 hospitalizations over this new public health crisis for vaping. Meanwhile, these puberty blockers that they're trying to give 3-year-olds for their transitioning into the next gender has caused 6,000 deaths.
And 26,000 adverse reactions or this or that. And
That's it. Yep. That's how they qualified it as severe adverse reactions, I think, in the 26,000s, and 6,000 of those resulted in death from this puberty blocker that they're giving to children as young as 3 years old.
But we have to stop the vaping that's killed 12 people already.
Right. Mm-hmm. If only there was something important that had happened recently in the news that they're using this vaping bullshit to distract us from. Anything at all. I don't know. I guess there was that one fella out there who had that weird little island that somehow on suicide watch alone in a prison cell managed to hang himself.
With paper clothes.
Right, with paper clothes. Interesting. They've had all sorts of interesting people on his island, though. I just saw
Stephen Hawking.
That's right.
Did you hear what Stephen said?
I did.
About it?
Gosh. Yep. That's messed
in
up.
and out and in and out. And man, Stephen, poor guy.
Dirty bastard. Can't believe you'd say that on record. God. Yeah, filthy mind. But I guess what are you gonna do when you're stuck in a wheelchair all day?
Yeah. Gotta get your kick somehow, I guess.
Right.
Huh?
Nothing but dirty porn, apparently. filthy animal. That's Stephen Hawking.
That was great.
I've just been waiting to use that. And I do want to add a caveat that there are plenty of live people alive right now that are out there violating children that need to be dealt with in a severe and harsh manner. We just poke fun at the dead ones, like Epstein, Hawking. All right.
We're going to hell. Yeah.
We're going to hell.
Yeah. I'll see you there.
I'm so glad I said goodnight.
At least you got your caveat out there, John.
I love you guys. Love you all out there. Have a great week.
I'll talk to you on Tuesday.
Yep, for sure.
Sounds like a plan. All right, then, everybody. Then we will see you right back here next week for another episode of Have No Sphere on the Iron Realm Media YouTube channel. Make sure you hit subscribe, like, bell notification, all that good stuff. Find us on Twitter. Find us on Facebook. Crap, we're damn near everywhere. Take a look. Take a Google. Find a platform and just search Iron Realm Media. Chances are you'll probably find something. Anyway, love you guys. Bye-bye.
Like you a lot, cousins.
And that should be it.